these emotional cycles that you go through in your business. And as with all cycles in life, you do mini cycles. Like every day, you're going through a mini version of this cycle. But there's also a bigger version of this cycle that you're reliving over and over. And once you recognize these patterns, you'll be able to be self-aware enough to break this patterns of emotionality in business, knowing that what you see right now is not just the immediate threat, but if you can just stick to the plan and get over this freak out that you're having, you'll actually be able to find ease in your business.
Welcome to the Millionaire Maker Show, a podcast helping entrepreneurs scale their businesses online to create more time, more money, more freedom, and more impact. Now, with over 20 years of business building, coaching, and consulting experience, here's your host, author, speaker, and creator of the Millionaire Maker Funnel, Lindsay Anderson.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Millionaire Maker Show. I am your host, Lindsay Anderson. And today we're talking about the emotional cycle of business and how to best make it through that cycle and ensure that you're making strategic decisions that will allow your business to grow and scale. Because being an entrepreneur and an online business owner, it's not for the faint of heart. Certainly, there are days you feel like you can take on the world, and there are days that you feel like everybody is out to get you and you will never get another client again. The fact is, in order to scale an online business and for it to not make you feel absolutely crazy, or for you to get burnt out, or for you to wonder, why is all of this work, I'm working from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, why is it that if I work so much and I look in my bank account, it still doesn't change? And from what I have found in 20 of helping online business owners scale their businesses, is there is one thing in common with those business owners that succeed versus those business owners that struggle, and it has to do with the emotionality of business. Most online business owners, they're creatives, they're leaders, they're full of fire, and being clamped down to a system and a process that typically is very painful for many online business owners. It's not their natural state. In fact, being excited and being inspired and taking action, that's their real strength. There's pros and cons to every single strength and weakness that you have. Your strength of leading and creating and this fiery push to keep on going and to be inspired and lead is certainly a pro. It actually got people where they are right now. That's where all of the good ideas came from. But the downfall of having that kind of fire and that kind of passion is you end up being emotionally driven by decisions in your business. You typically don't have a strategy. You don't like to stick to a system. Anytime you try to get into something that was rinse and repeat and had a little boredom to it, you wanted to scream. And so you continue to build your business based on this fire and this flame, and it's going to eventually burn you out, and you're going to be stuck where you are until you figure out to not allow the emotionality of your business actually affect major decisions. And instead, you understand that having a strategy that you stick to and a system that you stick to every single day is what's going to bring those consistent sales. That's what's going to build your business into the future, is having a strategy that you can rely on and not making knee-jerk decisions, not doing crazy things off the cuff because it just felt right. And so today on the podcast, I'll be painting out for you the emotionality of business, these emotional cycles that you go through in your business. And as with all cycles in life, you do mini cycles. Like every day you're going through a mini version of this cycle, but there's also a bigger version of this cycle that you're reliving over and over. And once you recognize these patterns, you'll be able to be self-aware enough to break this patterns of emotionality in business, knowing that what you see right now is not just the immediate threat, but if you can just stick to the plan and get over this freak out that you're having, you'll actually be able to find ease in your business. But before we hop into that, I want to make sure that you're fully aware. I don't want to interrupt your summer vacation. I don't want to damper it. I love going to the beach. In fact, that's my favorite thing to do on the 4th of July is to go to the beach with my kids because everyone takes their illegal fireworks out there, and it's like the whole fireworks show starts at sunset. And then by the time the real fireworks start, my family and I take off and head home to beat the traffic. But we already got a really good show. So I don't want to interrupt your summer maxin' relaxin', but I do want to make sure that you are fully aware of the situation and the opportunity that this time of year brings to your online business. Now, there's no doubt about it. Fall is one of the best times to sell your high-ticket services. The fact is, your buyers are most ready to buy in the fall. They've spent the summer wasting away, doing whatever they need to do. And in fall, once the kids go back to school and people are back into their patterns, they are ready to take action. And in order to take full advantage of what I like to call the fall windfall, it's essential that you look at the next 6 weeks because it's hypercritical that you go into the fall prepared. Because if you're not prepared and you're leaving this until August, then you're going to be at the whim of trying to figure it out then. And by then, it's going to be way too late. You're going to get into Thanksgiving and Christmas before you actually get all the kinks worked out. And I probably don't need to tell you, Christmas, not the best time to be making sales. With that being said, I can help. Okay, I got 6 weeks, Lindsay. What am I supposed to be doing? Make sure that you head over to lindsaya.com. I'm hosting a free masterclass where I will share with you exactly what to be doing over the next 6 weeks. During this masterclass, I'll be sharing with you what you need to be doing to build your audience and get your audience ready for fall. I'll share with you my invite-only event strategy and how you can use that on rinse and repeat. And by the time you practice and perfect this beautiful thing by the fall, you will actually be able to capitalize on the fall windfall. All you need to do to take full advantage of this masterclass is head over to lindsaya.com and I'll share with you what you need to be doing over these next super critical 6 weeks. Have you ever heard the parable of the grasshopper and the ant? The ant spends the summer days consistently working towards the fall, knowing that the fall is the harvest, where the grasshopper sings and dances away and frolics in the sunshine. And by the time the fall comes, the grasshopper is in a lot of trouble. You can figure out your marketing and sales system over the next 6 weeks, and by the time fall comes, you'll be ready to reap the harvest. I'll tell you exactly what to do and how to take full advantage of this if you head over to lindsaya.com. Get signed up for that masterclass. Now, I don't give replays on this masterclass. It's timely information. Put it on your calendar, get signed up, and I will see you there. Let's take full advantage of the next 6 critical weeks together to really make this the best time of year. Now, let's talk about the emotionality in business, and I've learned this after helping hundreds of business owners over the past 20 years. You go through these cycles every day. You can see mini versions of this cycle play out, and over the months and weeks and years, bigger and bigger versions of this cycle will play out. And we're going to go over these 5 stages right here on the Millionaire Maker Show. So, first of all, when you enter a new strategy or you go into a business and you're ready to implement a brand new strategy, let's say you signed up for my coaching program, Content That Converts. You get really excited about joining the program. You think it's going to be the answer to all your problems. Finally, hallelujah, no more struggling with online sales. That, my friends, is uninformed optimism. This is the most exciting stage. You imagine all of the benefits of joining this program, okay, without experiencing any of the costs. Uninformed optimism is a land of positive emotions. And uninformed optimism, this is why 5-day launches work. This is why when you're on a masterclass, those people who are selling to you this uninformed optimism stage, for those of us who are in marketing and sales, it's quite the mecca of getting people to actually buy from you. When you're exciting people during a launch or during a webinar, they only see the benefits. This is the easiest time to actually make a sale because they're not thinking of any of the consequences. It's also why when you're on a sales call, the last thing that you want to do is allow that prospect to get off the phone because they will enter in to the next stage of the change journey, and it's going to be very difficult to make a sale at that point. Uninformed optimism, it's the mecca, okay? Uninformed optimism, it's the happy joyland place, only full of rainbows, unicorns, and optimism. And now we go to step 2, informed pessimism. As you join a program and you learn the reality of what it takes to change, those positive emotions quickly sour with pessimism, and you really start to understand the cost of what it's actually going to take to change or to build something. The informed pessimism stage is like, oh crap, okay? Pessimism is starting to sink in. And here in this state, the benefits don't seem as real or as important, and the cost of the change is absolutely apparent. It's staring at you right there in the face every single day. At this point, you're asking yourself, is it really worth all the effort? Did I really want that online business after all? And you look for reasons anywhere, grab reasons to absolutely abandon the effort. Now, if you think that this is as bad as it's going to get, you're wrong. Because on to step 3, and you want to watch out for this step, is the valley of despair. This is the lowest point of the emotional cycle and this business building cycle. This is when most people will end up giving up because it's just too much as they stare at what has to be done in order to take their business to the next level or make that change that they're wanting to make. The pain is real, and your emotional response are super uncomfortable. This is unfamiliar. I don't want to do this. And actually, you know what? The grass is actually greener on the other side wherever I was. This is not where I want to be spending my life. I don't want to be doing this. Now, in my programs, we're very aware of this cycle, and we have guardrails built in place because we know that you're going to hit the valley of despair. And if we can get you past the valley of despair, things really start looking up. But you do have to pass through that valley. After you get through the valley of despair, you come into informed optimism. Okay, things maybe aren't that bad. Look, things are actually starting to work. I'm actually starting to see sales from my social media. I can actually see how this system is going to help me scale my online business, save me hours, allow me to make sales, and really bring this ease to my business so I actually feel like a business owner versus an employee. I'm making money, things are really working, and I can see that things are actually starting to work out. And I'm so happy that I got through the valley of despair and got here because you know what? And in my programs, this is what they say, Lindsay, you were absolutely right. What you were telling me was absolutely right. Thank you for pushing me through. I am ready to finish out this change. It's absolutely feeling worth it. I want to keep going. I will not stop. And that brings us to the final step, which is success and fulfillment. This is the mecca. This is where testimonials are made and people tell you, I did all of this. I went through all of the pain, and look at how amazing my results are. Here you're seeing the benefits of everything that you've implemented, and all the hard work absolutely seem worth it. everything that you were asked to do now seems that was once super difficult and very uncomfortable are now part of your routine, and you walk around patting yourself on the back saying, I'm so glad that I made it through everything that I went through because all the lessons that I learned along the way in all of these small and big cycles actually prepared me for being here, accepting these results, and having and enjoying the spoils and the benefits of actually accomplishing a goal. Because the fact is, just like if you want to be an MMA fighter, you're gonna have to learn how to take a couple of punches in order to be a champion. And the same goes for online business ownership. In order to have a successful business, whatever that means to you, more time, more money, more freedom, more impact, you will absolutely have to learn how to take a punch. Because once you build your business to $1 million and beyond, and you continue to scale beyond that, you will be taking punches because business is complicated. Business is a puzzle. Your client base will always be experiencing changes. AI and other technology will always be changing the landscape, and things will never just be easy. But the fact is, building an online business gets easier as you, as the business owner, understands how to be resilient, that these cycles actually happen, that everything is okay, and your ego and your monkey mind isn't actually taking over all of these decisions and freaking out, so you can get past this valley of despair where everybody gets stuck. Let me give you an example. I have a client, VIP client, which means we have our hands on their systems and their sales and their marketing, and we are in there helping them create, develop, and implement a marketing and sales system that will scale their online business. It's a very hands-on approach with these VIP clients, but we can make a really big difference because they get access to all of my systems, they get access to all of my processes, and they get access to myself and my team to ensure that they have the systems and the strategies and the sales methods in order to scale. They basically steal my entire business and we help implement it right into their business, saving them years of effort, years of guessing, and really helping people build a real legacy business that works now and into the future. So it's a very powerful program. Within that program, we really get to know our one-on-one clients because we're part of their team. We're really functioning as a C-suite for these online businesses. And so during our weekly meetings, we definitely see the emotional roller coaster in full view. And we like to point this out to customers and warn them because when you're aware of where you're at, it doesn't seem so scary. When you expect these things, it doesn't seem so scary. And one of the cycles that always happens is the launch cycle. I'm a big fan of a 10-day live launch where you can bring people from cold to close in the period of 10 days. You're launching, you're giving trainings every single day of the week. You get your audience all excited, and it can be a really great way to get a lot of sales because of the social proof and how you structure your launch. It can also be very emotional taxing. You've put in a lot of work to this launch. You have several hundred people there. You're trying to show up. Your team is counting on you. You're there training. You really want to get these sales. And during this 10 days, you'll see the emotional roller coaster, this emotional cycle, the emotionality of business play out in full force. So day one, you show up, you have the highest show up rates. You're on cloud nine. You are definitely like uninformed optimism. And this happens on every launch. You think you know, but you don't. You'll still live this until you see the cycle. Then you'll still live it, but you'll be okay with it because you know how things go. So day one of the launch, uninformed optimism. There's so many people in the Zoom room. I'm going to get a ton of sales. Look how active they are in the comments. I'm so excited. Then you roll into day 2, 3, and 4, and you find yourself slowly going into informed pessimism. You've been giving the trainings. Things are really hard. Oh my gosh, there's so many people to talk to. These trainings are emotionally draining. There's so much to be done in order to get all of these sales. And I have to make this sales pitch. And you make the sales pitch, you make your soft pitch on Wednesday, you bring it up, and a handful of applications come through, but you're like, ugh, maybe this audience wasn't as hot as I thought after all. Then it's typically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You hit the valley of despair because your show up rates aren't that high. That's just how launches go. People check out on Fridays and maybe they'll catch you on the replay. The last thing you want to be doing is showing up for a minimal audience on Saturday and Sunday. And so all you want to do is say, I'm never launching again. This totally sucks. I don't even want to go live. Those individuals that don't have a strategy or a system, they'll put off Saturday and Sunday. I won't go live these 2 days. Nobody's paying attention to me anyway. It's the last thing I want to do. By the way, that's a huge mistake. The whole power of a launch is the momentum you gain. And if you break that momentum on Saturday or Sunday, by the time it's Monday, to really make your big pitches, to really bring those people in, you have to regain that momentum. And that totally sucks. So as you make it through the valley of despair on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of your launch, Monday comes. People are back awake. Your Zoom room's filling up a little. The applications are coming in, and you've gotten a couple of sales. And you're thinking, you know what? If all this launch brings is these sales and these opportunities, you know what? Launching isn't so bad after all. In fact, I'm going to hit Tuesday super hard. I'm going to DM all of my hot leads and I'm going to make sure that I close as many sales as I can because I can actually feel that this is working. And that's when you get to the close cart phase of your 10-day launch. It's Tuesday again, and the sales are all rolling in. You've hit the other end of what I call the launch hockey stick. This is how your sales go during a launch. You get a few the first time you make a call to action, then it goes dead, and then the rest of the hockey stick where it's pointing upwards and all of the sales come in. And so when you're making the call to action, the card is closing. People actually have to make a decision right then to take action. You will see that's when your sales come in. That's when most of your application comes in. And you, as the leader, as the person putting on this launch, you're patting yourself on the back. Great job, Lindsay. I'm so glad we finished this launch. It's so absolutely worth it. So we see this cycle in our VIP clients. I support them through this cycle while they're going through the launch because I want them to understand this is just how things go, and that makes it so much easier. So there's an example for you right there of the emotionality of business, this emotional cycle that you're always going through in your business in both small and large ways. Now, what's the best way to actually handle this? I can hear you already. Thank you, Lindsay, so much for explaining this emotional cycle of business. In fact, I want to go over the 5 steps for you one more time. So the first step, uninformed optimism. Everything is great. I only see rainbows and unicorns. Let's go make $1 million right now. Then informed pessimism. Oh, what have I gotten myself into? Ew, this is going to be harder than I thought. Step 3, valley of despair. Most people will give up. Valley of despair is literally where those businesses that succeed, they understand this and they walk through it anyway. Then informed optimism. Oh, I got through the valley of despair. Things aren't so bad after all. And then you get to go for the gold with success and fulfillment. You actually get to reap the benefits that you were really wanting in step 1. And there's no way around. This is just the way it is in business. And accept this. Understand your patterns so that you can absolutely break it. And easier said than done, right? The valley of despair is a real bleak place. So how do we handle that as business owners? My recommendation, and something that has helped me get through so many valley of despairs in my own business journey, is this idea of really acting unbothered. Okay, I'm unbothered by that. I'm unbothered by this. The fact is, I have a strategy and a system, and I know that even though today I don't feel like giving an invite only event because I had a customer ghost me. Okay, they said they were going to sign up and they didn't. I'm at a low point. This sucks. I just looked at my bank account and there's not as much money in there as I was hoping. And so I don't really feel like doing an invite only event. And for many business owners that don't have a strategy and don't have a system and don't have anything, they have to come up with that right there when they're feeling like crap, they won't do anything because but those business owners that understand that business is a long game and they're not short-sighted looking at the day or the week or the month or the year, but they understand that business is a long game. And what I do today, the marketing and the sales and the connecting and the networking that I do today actually has ripple effects into the future. So today matters very little. What matters is this infinite game and knowing that I can rest assured that these are the right tasks to be doing today in order to benefit in the future. And it doesn't really matter how I feel. And it's that steady, calm approach that separates those business owners that succeed from those that continue to struggle. So, unbothered. This also helps in a mental. If you start acting the way that you want to feel, your body will actually meet you there. And so, anytime a customer cancels, or you have a key employee call in sick, or you feel that anxiety alarm rushing up and you're freaking out and you don't want to do anything and all you want to do is slam the computer shut and throw it out the window, I'm going to cancel you to just take a breath. Okay, the fact is that when that anxiety alarm goes off, you got about 90 seconds. Your body is sending a rush of cortisol and other very powerful hormones through your system because you get yourself in fight or flight mode. You're ready to fight because you're scared. Now, these hormones are in your body and it can be very scary and very real. So the key is to recognize that this anxiety alarm is actually going off. And once it does, you got two options when these hormones are rushing through your body. You can feed those hormones with more anxious thoughts. Yeah, you're right. And that master class didn't work. And that DM person told me to stop being in their inbox and ghosted me. And that sale fell through. And yeah, it's right. Nothing ever works. And you can feed it. And your body will be trained to continue pushing this cocktail of high of emotions through your body. Or you can take a second step and just act unbothered and take a few breaths and not get all worked up in that emotion, and instead know that you have a plan and you have a strategy, and acting unbothered in the moment will not only lead your team to a calm, collected, non-emotional, great working environment, but you personally can act unbothered and then you can feel unbothered. Yes, Lindsay, acting unbothered, that's one thing, but it's just an act. First of all, just acting that way and adopting that attitude towards your business will allow you to separate yourself from all of the emotions. But the fact is that typically, if you have a strategy and a system and it's working, okay, it's something that you've perfected, you work with me in Content That Converts, and we have you set up with the unlaunch method, and so you know it works, then you can take this anxiety alarm that's going off and you can start asking yourself some questions. Why am I so anxious because that customer canceled? Yeah, I'm pissed, but does it really equal the level of slamming my laptop down and throwing it out the window? Am I actually going to be feeling like this next week? Because I've talked to enough online entrepreneurs to know I've caught them in the valley of despair before. I know that they can get to the other side, and I know that one customer or one team member quitting or one stress in their business, they want to be an online business. And once the emotions subside, they actually want to remain in the game. And so acting unbothered is my general attitude towards any business challenge. The fact is, anything that is triggering your anxiety alarm in your business comes with an opportunity to ask, why is my anxiety alarm going off? Is this really about my business or whatever the situation is? Or is it about something deeper? Do I need to look at why I am so scared because this action actually happened in my business? Because, you know, building a business, it's a personal game. And it's about self-value, and it's a personal game. And being able to control your emotions in business is critical for success. And not only that, it helps you in all other aspects of your life. So my biggest piece of advice is go with an unbothered attitude. Even if you aren't feeling it, as you respond to people, as you show up to events, bring your best unbothered, because that will allow you to act cool, calm, and collected and do those things that you know need to be done that will help you grow this business. So there you have it, folks. Now you understand the cycles, the small cycles, the medium cycles, the big cycles in your business. Try to find these throughout your day. Ask yourself, where am I in this cycle? What do I need to do? What kind of support do I need in order to get through this portion of the cycle so I can really start reaping the benefits? It's all about awareness here. When you're aware of the patterns, you're aware of how you react, and you're aware of your anxiety alarms, then you actually have control and are no longer at the whim of a cocktail of emotions that your body has sent in order to actually protect you. It's to protect you from a bear or to actually protect you when whatever is happening in your business is not a life or death situation, because business is a long-term game and not a short-term game. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of The Millionaire Maker Show. One more time, 6 weeks. That's what you've got in order to perfect your marketing and sales process to really take full advantage of what I call the fall windfall. Fall is a great time to get sales. I will show you what you need to do over the next 6 weeks to get your audience ready and warmed up and do all of these necessary tasks so that you can take full advantage of the fall windfall. All you need to do is head over to lindsayaa.com, get signed up for my free masterclass, and I'll see you on the live. Now, if you enjoy the Millionaire Maker Show podcast, please go out and leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. If we've given you any insight as we tell the honest truth here, no sugarcoating as to what it takes to actually build a successful and profitable online business that works for you and not the other way around, please leave us a review. And a big thank you to everybody who has already left us a review. I truly appreciate it. Thank you again for listening to the Millionaire Maker Show. Cheers to you and your success.
Thank you for listening to the Millionaire Maker Show with online business consultant and creator of the Millionaire Maker Funnel, Lindsay Anderson. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time.